everyone, this is Sarah, the Catholic Homemaker. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new or if you have been to my channel, thank you so much for subscribing. If you're new, please consider subscribing to my channel so we can continue to grow this community, and hit that thumbs up button if you like this video, share, comment, and also hit the notification bell for all notifications so you know when I post, which is every Monday at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. So I wanted to share my massive book haul that I just got back with today. Today's Friday before Memorial Day. I'm filming, and there was a huge book sale in my area, and I just wanted to recommend to all of you, check out the book sales in your area. If you, whether or not you're a homeschooler or you just love reading to your kids, even if you don't love reading for yourself or for your kids, it's just so important for kids especially to read. So book sales are a great way to afford classic literature or just other books for your kids and just to expand your collection. I went to an earlier book sale a few months ago and I got a really big haul as well, but I actually ended up spending less money this time around, and I got about the same amount of books. I got over 50 books this time. I don't know the exact number, but it's somewhere around that number, more than that. And I just wanted to share with you, most of them are classic books, and I wanted to share with you what are some great titles you might want to look for your kids. Now, specifically, I was looking for really classic picture books and novels as well, and just like anything and all for their age range and above their age range, just thinking about the future, especially since I want to homeschool my kids. I'm just trying to expand our library collection. Now we need a new bookshelf. So I also was looking for foreign language children's picture books for them. So they didn't have a huge selection, unfortunately, but I grabbed titles that we didn't have already or that I thought were kind of on their level and above. There were some that I didn't grab that maybe I should have, but they were just like really long. And normally like that would be okay to read in English, but I just think I would probably lose their interest if I got something too long, especially since their Spanish isn't that advanced. And even it would be a challenge for me. I mean, if it's bilingual, then it would be fine. And some of them were. So anyway, if there's another book sale, I might consider grabbing them anyway, because those are harder to find. So anyway, let's get started. Here's Charlotte's Web. And most of these books were $1 or $2, some under $1. The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Now, I actually got a copy of this at the last book sale, but this one was the full version. The other one I accidentally grabbed the abridged version. This is Beowulf, and this is a bilingual version, which includes the Old English as well as modern English. And then my husband saw I think it's it's the Treasury of Herman Melville. So it has Moby Dick and other novels that he has written, and I grabbed Moby Dick at the last book sale, but I did not realize it was the abridged version. So now I'm glad that we have both here. And here is a treasury of children's literature. If you're interested, I will show you. It has some traditional stories in here: Aesop's Fables, Grimm's Fairy Tales, Mother Goose's Nursery Rhymes, children's classics, A Child's Garden of Verses, The Night Before Christmas. Oh, that's great. I didn't realize that. Hans Christian Andersen's Fairy Tales. There's a bunch of them there. And that's it. And then I got some poetry. This is a really big book. And it tells you who are the authors of these poems, or the poets rather. This is on a homeschooling book list that I have recommended reading. And this is a really great story. The Pied Piper of Hamelin, another classic. This is a children's story of Odysseus, and I just thought it would be important for them to know that story, even if they can't learn like the original version right off the bat. And then this was a Mother Goose version. There were other versions there, but this one we thought was better. And then this is an illustrated treasury of Hans Christian Andersen's fairy tales. Let's see what it includes. Thumbelina, the Princess and the Pea, the Snow Queen, the Brave Tin Soldier, the Emperor's New Suit, the Little Match Girl, the Little Mermaid, and the Christmas Tree. I have a lot more. A Kiss for Little Bear. Now, the Little Bear series is very classic. This one is by, I don't know how to say it. Is it Olivier Dunry? And it's Gideon. We have Gossie, the bilingual version. Harry is a series. I don't know how many are in the series, but I saw the original Harry the Dirty Dog and Harry and the Lady Next Door. And then Frances is another series that we love. These are all by Arnold Lobel. Mouse Soup, Frog and Toad Together. We have a couple others in that collection now too. Fables, and then Caps for Sale. It's by, oh, I don't know how to pronounce that name. Esfir Slobodkina, maybe? I am Catholic. I saw this and I thought it would be a good story to show my children. It may be a little advanced for them, but it's Saint Kateri Tekakwitha. And of course it shows that she's blessed, but she's now saint. And it's kind of like a comic book fashion. So I just thought that was interesting. And it actually said free. I'm not sure if they charged me. Princess Furball is one of my favorite stories. I remember my mother read it to us when we were kids. And just last year, I was trying to remember that story that she read to us. And I was asking on a Facebook forum, and somebody was like, is that Princess Furball? I'm like, maybe. And so I went and looked up the description, and I was like, yes, that's the one I read as a child. And I've been wanting to find out what that story was for a long time. And it's kind of like, I think they say in here that it's like more of the original Cinderella story. So it's very different than the Cinderella you might be used to, especially the Disney version, but it's a really great story I love. And Charlie, these are all Tommy DePaola books. So Charlie Needs a Cloak. We just recently got this from the library. I was like, oh, we should get our own copy because the girls loved it. And then the Popcorn book, I've never read that. The Night of Las Posadas. And then this is a Dr. Seuss book, The Sneetches and Other Stories. Actually not sure which ones are in here other than that. I've never read that one, so I was kind of interested in hearing it. Too Many Daves. Let's see what else. Oh, The Zacks. And What Was I Scared Of? I think that's it. Yeah, because then it's just the Sneetches. Then I have my collection of Spanish books right here. So I actually did get a decent amount. Eres mi mamá, which is a version of Are You My Mother? La Oruga Muy Hambrienta, which is The Very Hungry Caterpillar. Léale a su conejito, read to your little bunny. And this is a series of books I've seen. I think it's Max and Ruby, they're rabbits. And then I've seen these at the library before, but it's a bilingual version as well. And then this is Eric y Julieta in El Museo. And then Donde Está Eric, which they're bilingual, which I love. This one is not bilingual. Patas, garras, manos y pies. So I think that's legs or paws maybe. Garras, I think, are claws. Manos are hands, or maybe it literally means paws for animals. Pies, feet. Jake at gymnastics, or Jake hace gimnasia. Rachel Isadora. I actually have a couple of her books. And then Hairs or Pelitos is the Spanish, English and Spanish. A story in English and Spanish from The House on Mango Street by Sandra Cisneros. And then Ana cultiva manzanas. Anna grows apples, I believe is what it means. So if I don't know the translation, I will look it up. Dragons Love Tacos. I've never actually read this before, but I hear it's a good story for kids. It's a modern story. I have never read this before, but it sounded interesting to me. Little Firefly, an Algonquin legend. Okay, we're getting through it. And then a few Franklin books. I had never actually read the Franklin series to my children, but I remember my mother reading it to me in the 90s. And so Franklin Runs Away, Franklin is Messy, and Franklin in the Dark. So those are the three that I saw. And then this one's another classic, Alexander and the Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day by Judith Viorst. The Gingerbread Boy. This one had better illustrations. I think it was than the Paul Caldone, maybe. So here's some of them. This one's a really good story, Lan Po Po, and it's a Chinese or Red Riding Hood story from China. The True Story of the Three Little Pigs by John Sieska, maybe. This is on the book list I was referring to. Each Peach, Pear, Plum. A House is a House for Me. That's also another classic book on that list. On Market Street by Anita Lobo. Oh, Pictures by Anita Lobo, but Words by Arnold Lobo. Then they have The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. And then these next few are by Jan Brett. This one doesn't have a cover, but it's the mitten. And we have the hat upstairs. And then we have Honey, Honey Lion. I've not read that one before. And then Trouble with Trolls, Where the Wild Things Are. We actually have this one in Spanish, but I was like, we should probably have the English version too, in case I get some of the translation wrong. The Kissing Hand, another classic. Stone Soup. Now we do have Stone Soup upstairs, but it's a Chinese version of Stone Soup. It wasn't the version that I was used to. So I think this is more of like the classic that I had read from when I was a little girl. And then I actually have another version of it, but it's only in Spanish. It's like, I think it's called Sopa de Piedra. So it's a very simple story in Spanish. So there's like all kinds of different versions of Stone Soup. So it's kind of nice to have the different versions. This is very classic, Mike Mulligan and his steam shovel. We're going on a bear hunt. The Owl and the Pussycat by Edward Lear. It's just a poem, but a lot of these things that I grabbed are on like book lists, like the book list my friend shared with me. It's just her personal reading list for her kids. And then a lot of them are also on some of the Catholic homeschooling curriculums that I've looked at. There are only a couple left. These are also on those curriculums, Babar the King and the Story of Babar. That's all I got from the book haul, but as you can see, I got some really great classics and I'm so happy with it. I spent around $90 for everything, and my daughter, actually $50 of that was like birthday money for my oldest, and so really we spent more around $40 out of our own pocket for this. So I think that's pretty great, because last time I spent $150 and I got about the same number of books. The books were just more expensive at the other haul, and I also got some treasuries. Like I got the complete Winnie the Pooh treasury, and then the complete Beatrix Potter collection, and I got a bunch of other classic novels too, like Black Beauty and Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan, The Wind in the Willows, Little House on the Prairie, The Wizard of Oz. There's all kinds of other like classic novels and books that I got that were a little more expensive than some of the other picture books. But overall, I'm just so happy with the haul that I got. I hope that you found it to be interesting and helpful to know what are some great books to read to young toddlers or young children. And let me know what you think in the comments. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and may God bless you and your families.